Aloha, I'm Kiana Cayabyab, and here are today's top Hawaii headlines from the editors at the Honolulu Star-Advertiser. The Navy today said it will comply with a state emergency order to drain underground fuel tanks at its Red Hill bulk fuel storage facility. A leak from the tanks contaminated a drinking water system that serves 93,000 people. The facility also poses risk to a major freshwater aquifer that is critical to Oahu's water supply, Hawaii Board of Water Supply officials have said. The emergency order calls on the Navy to remove fuel from the tanks and clean up tainted drinking water. The fuel tanks can be refilled if the Navy proves it can safely conduct operations. Rear Admiral Blake Converse this morning told members of the House Armed Service Committee that Navy officials issued instructions to comply with the order last week. The Navy has been fighting the state's demand for weeks. Whether its plans to further contest the order is unclear. As it begins to defuel Red Hill, the Navy continues to flush the Joint Base Pearl Harbor-Hickam water system that serves nearly 100,000 people. The process could be completed by the end of January. The Hawaii Department of Education today announced new COVID-19 guidelines for the state's K-12 schools. New interim rules will cut the recommended time that teachers and students should isolate or quarantine for COVID-19 from 10 days to 5. Under the new guidelines, students and staff who test positive for COVID-19 or have COVID-19 symptoms should isolate for 5 days regardless of vaccination status. Students and staff who have been in close contact with a person who has COVID-19 should quarantine for 5 days after last contact if they have not completed their primary vaccine series or have not received a recommended booster. Students and staff should get tested on day 5 of quarantine, even if they do not have symptoms. State Schools Interim Superintendent Keith Hayashi and State Epidemiologist Dr. Sarah Kemble said the new rules are being adopted to align with recommendations from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The guidelines will also help maintain in-person learning. Health officials today reported 2,929 new COVID-19 infections statewide. No new deaths were reported today. Hawaii has recorded 150,028 COVID-19 cases and 1,105 coronavirus-related fatalities since the start of the pandemic. Today, 1,999 new cases were reported on Oahu, 208 on Hawaii Island, 496 on Maui, 180 on Kauai, 21 on Molokai, 7 on Lanai, and 18 Hawaii residents were diagnosed outside the state. Of all the confirmed Hawaii infection cases, 5,376 people have been hospitalized. No new hospitalizations were reported today. The state has 43,722 cases that are considered to be active, with 1,997 new active infections recorded today. Meanwhile, the recent Omicron surge has prompted the Queen's health systems to declare an internal state of emergency for its West Oahu hospital. The rate of admissions there is outpacing the number of available beds. To relieve pressure on West Oahu's emergency department, more serious cases are being sent to the Queen's Medical Center downtown. Lawmakers are calling for new legislation and stricter enforcement of existing laws to deal with Honolulu's illegal fireworks problem. Setting off fireworks to celebrate the new year is a time-honored tradition for many Hawaii families. But aerials, improvised explosive devices, other illegal displays anger many residents. People suffering from post-traumatic stress disorders and medical conditions are adversely affected by the explosions. The comfort of sensitive pets is also a concern. The Honolulu Police Department said it increased staffing in each district from New Year's Eve to New Year's Day to bolster enforcement, but officers made only 1 arrest and issued 32 citations after receiving 800 fireworks-related calls. Since 2017, only 15 people have been arrested on Oahu for violating fireworks laws. Some Hawaii lawmakers are looking to update regulations to make it easier to prosecute offenders. Others suggest looking for new ways to enforce existing laws, while at least one council member received renewed calls for a total ban on all fireworks. State Representative Sharon Har today saw her drunken driving case dismissed on a technicality. Har was arrested last February after officers found her alone in her Mercedes-Benz, pointed in the head-on direction of one-way traffic on South Beretania Street at Pi'ikoi. She also was charged with driving without motor vehicle insurance, but that charge was later dismissed. Har was acquitted of the drunken driving charge, and her case was dismissed in court today. Her attorney cited a Hawaii Supreme Court decision that states criminal complaints must be accompanied by a signed affidavit or official declaration from the complaining party. The misdemeanor charge of operating a vehicle under the influence of an intoxicant was dropped with prejudice, meaning prosecutors cannot refile the case. In a statement issued after her first arrest, Har blamed the incident on a combination of prescription cough medication and beer. She issued a public apology shortly after her arrest last year. For more on these stories and all the latest headlines, subscribe to the Honolulu Star-Advertiser. Visit Hawaii's top source for breaking news online at staradvertiser.com and download the Star-Advertiser mobile app. Mahalo, have a great day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.